them. My first question being, are you really following your passion? And you all can give the answers in the chat box. And please be true to it. Don't write a yes just because you would feel, okay, what will others think if I say no? Because the more true you are to yourself, the better we'll be able to help you. Okay. So I'm loving it. There are people who say that it's 50-50. There are people who say I have started it now. I think that's thanks to COVID-19 and the whole lockdown which has started. I feel many of the employers are now going to search for people because most of them will be following their passions as they've got time to think about it now. Great. As we all know that we need to follow our passion to be happy, let me give you some more reasons as to why and how you will be learning from this particular session. First, let me answer the why. Why do we even need to follow our passion? Why do we even need to think about what is my passion? The reason is not only that you will be finding happiness. The reason is it will give you a purpose to your life. In the daily hustle and bustle, when we are spending most of our time in the routine works, most of them are the ones which we don't even like doing at times. But because of ample number of reasons, we do have to follow them. The reasons can be quite simple. People, when I ask this question to many of the people in our sessions, they answer, I am in need of financial help. I need to go to work because I need to earn money. I can't follow my passion always. Second, I don't know where to start and what to do about it. Third, I don't even know what my passion is. Sometimes I like doing drawing, sometimes I like dancing, sometimes I like singing. So I really don't know what I'm passionate about. These are just few answers which we got, but there are many, many more which you might ask yourself and answer. Now, please understand, you must have heard this saying that the life is too short. But I say it the other way around. When it comes to passion, the life is not only too short, it is also too long. You must be wondering, how can it be both? Quite simple. The life is too short to understand and follow your passion. But it becomes too long if you really don't know what is the meaning of happiness, what is the meaning of your life. So it's a by road. You need to select which path you want to follow. If you are following your passion, the life will always seem short to you. You would always wish for few extra days so that I can do this a little more. Next comes, as I said, finding the purpose of your life. Every one of us has some meaning to our life. We are made to do something different, something special. It's just that we need to find what it is. We just need to find what our capabilities are. Now, what is the value that you are adding to the world? Are you adding a 9-to-5 job? Or are you just adding a routine, an extra routine, which there are ample number of people already following? What's your value to the world? The only way to find the answer to this is, are you following your passion? Is it still alive in you? If not, you are just a routine to the world, which will some or the other day end, like many of our jobs do. Right? I can see a lot of yeses there. That's good. Now, I'll tell you the most important reason as to why you need to follow your passion. This is my favorite, because this is something which is going to make me a child again. Wondering how? It's a very simple answer. Like a child is lost completely and doesn't care about what others feel about what he's doing, what others will say what he's doing, or what others will feel about it. The same way, when we are lost in our passions, when we are doing something which is coming from our heart, we forget the world. We know what is making us happy. We know what is giving purpose to us. And we know what is that one thing which is keeping us alive and which is making us look forward to the next morning every time. How many of you really look forward to going to your jobs when Monday comes? Can you please write it in the chat box? Or maybe the kids who really want to go to school because they want to attend that physics or chemistry lesson or something like that, and they just want to run to the school on when it's Monday morning. They'll get up at 6 in the morning, get ready on their own, no nagging, nothing. Right. So I see an answer from Kirti that she is working all 7 days. That's good. JP Mishra ji also is. But there are so many people who have answered that responsibility drives them, or there are other reasons as well. For the people who are happy to go to their work, I feel that they are following something which they like doing. But what about maybe the 90% of the people in this world who just have to do it because it's their responsibility? They just have to do it because they can't quit it, or they just have to do it because they really don't know what else to do. I have a small poll kind of a thing for you. I'll just post it in the chat box. You can just click on that link, right? Let me know if you really know about it. What is your passion? What is your passion? What is that one thing which you are passionate about and which really takes the time away from you? You just want to don't want to do anything other than that. When you're doing that, you're happy, you're content, you're free as a child. You don't have any social pressure, emotional pressure when you're doing it. Or maybe it can just be a stress buster. When you want to leave the world away, you want to get to that. I'll just be putting it in the chat. Please click on the link and answer. So can you please start answering? You will be able to see it on your screens. Living life must be Rahul's answer. You're not even allowed to answer. So we have cricket and living life.
He's endorsing Pragya. Rahul is
right. Can I have
I'm
more
excited
answers?
to be listening to everyone's answers now.
Yes, I'm waiting to listen to all of your answers.
We are just looking for one-word answers in the link that has been given. So once you start teaching, putting it there, don't put it in this chat box here. Open the link if it's possible and answer it there. That will collate the list right in front of you.
And prefer writing one words, not sentences. So if you like drawing, just put drawing. Are you able to do it? Rahul, you're on mute.
We are not able to see the link on the chat.
Just give me 1 second.
I think you sent it to someone specific, Pragya. Open it all.
Okay, just give me 1 second. I'll repost it. Yeah. Now can you?
Yeah, now it's there.
Great.
There's so much that technology teaches us.
So we have skating, we have roller. This must...
I'm not asking who it is, but I think whosoever that skating and roller is, my son would love you because
public speaking. That's good. Puzzles. Wow. Singing. Can I have more answers? Crafting. Wow. Singing, crafting, public speaking, teaching. This must be Umaji.
Umaji.
Nobody else can be as passionate about teaching now. So we have yoga. That's good. riding sports bikes. This must be Akash or somebody.
Khushi, has Akash come in today?
Preventive
No, actually, he's
psychoeducation.
engaged with something else, so he didn't
Okay.
join today.
No issues, no issues.
We are getting amazing answers, huh? All different in their areas. Great. So I'm going to stop it now. As you all can see, that everybody has a different passion in their life. Today, what we are going to do is, okay, there's somebody who has marketing as a passion. Wow, I'm really interested who it is. And there's somebody who wants to play kabaddi. That's great. Right. So now we are going to end the screen. As you all can see that all of us have different passions in life. And the only thing that is common in it is how can we achieve it? That is something which Rahul is going to take you through with a step-by-step method of how you can pursue your passion. Before I say that, there's a very small thing which I read today itself when I was just looking for some video which I got. And it really intrigued me as to what it wanted to say. It said, don't follow your passion, let your passion follow you. And I was like, I did not understand what they wanted to say. So I read the whole article, and it was more about how you can focus on yourself rather than always keeping this thing in mind as to I have to achieve my passion. I have to achieve my passion, because that is something which is really not going to help you out. So rather than getting into that, let's find out what we can change or what we can do so that the passion follows us and we are not following it. Over to you, Rahul.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'll be using a presentation for this talk. So while I share my screen, if you wish to see the presentation, there's a small button at the top end corner, which if you click, it can swap the screens between while I'm speaking and while you're looking at the presentation, so that I don't have to constantly take off the screen sharing. Okay. Just let me set this up so that I can just keep going. Okay. Excited for today's session? Can we have a shout out? Okay.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Let's go for it then. Let me ask you all a simple question to begin with. What comes to your mind? Just a one word or one personality that you can think of. I think I'll have to stop the screen sharing if I want to see the chats and all those things. There's a little bit of a challenge, I guess. I'll come back and forth as and when I need the slides. Okay. So just one personality that comes to your mind when I ask you the question. Okay. You need to type it in the chat box. Cricket. Okay. Next question. Tennis. Next, scientist. Scientist. Comedian. Bollywood actor. Finally, a teacher. Personality could be someone whom you know as well. Whose mic is, whose speaker is on? Okay. With that,
You're on mute, Shravya.
The idea behind why I asked you that question and the list of people that we have got from every facet of every field that we could think of at this point in time, and there are a lot many than what we are just limited to. The idea behind asking you that simple question was the fact that if you look at how the world is today, of the people that comprise of how in the shape in it is in every facet, in every field that we just talked of, if you look at the world is designed and defined and created as it is today by these people. These are the people who have made a difference to the entire field. Today, when I talk of cricket, the first thing doesn't come bat and ball. The first thing that comes to my mind is possibly Sachin or Dhoni. Or you talk of Bollywood, the first person that comes to my mind is Amitabh Bachchan. And he personifies Bollywood in itself. Look at how the world is driven by the people who follow their passion, by the people who make a difference by pursuing their passion. Now, the simple question, was it easy? Is pursuing or following your dreams such an easy process? The biggest challenge is it isn't. But the effort, the pain that we people go through while pursuing their passion is all worth it. Because it reminds me of a beautiful quote as written in the slide. It says that a lot of people, some people die at the age of 75 and unburied until 75. When you think of so many billions of people who have lived on this earth and you're able to recollect only a few when it comes to the people who have pursued their passion, it reflects the fact that there's so many people who lead their entire lives, I won't say wasted lives, but I would say they have chosen mediocre lives and how they have pursued mediocre lives all through their life. And that's where the real challenge of talent and the blessings which each one of us have been given is being wasted. And that's where a lot of people are there. I would say, because in this session we have an 8-year-old as well and a 53-year-old as well. I won't say that there's an age to pursuing your passion. You could begin at 53. You could start at 8. Whatever be the answer that we are looking at this session is from wherever you are, in whatever shape you are in whatever condition that you are in, whatever excuses that you have today. I strongly believe that you can follow your passions at whatever age that you will be in. So with that, let me go on to the next thing. Let's unwrap your passion. We have already seen a lot of people already sharing in what they're passionate about. While it could be easier for you to pursue that at the age of 15, 16, and it could be a lot harder for someone to pursue it at the age of 50. So the idea behind what Einstein beautifully said, that everybody is a genius. Everybody is a genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb, it will lead its entire life believing that it's stupid. Equally is the fact that each one of us is blessed with a certain talent. One talent which I believe is not there in anyone else in this world. A kind of skill, a kind of passion that you possess, something which nobody else could possess and exhibit the way you can and express it to the world. But the biggest challenge is, the irony is, most of us continue to do things or pursue things that we are not passionate about. And what do you expect when I judge a fish by its ability to climb? What do you expect to happen? What do you expect the result to be? It could start climbing the trees if it trains hard enough, but still, will it accomplish the best of what is possible by it? Of what it was made for, what it was passionate about, what it was ingrained with a skill about, will it be able to accomplish that by climbing a tree? That's where we say you need to pursue your passion. That you need to find that passion within you and pursue that. And that's where you will become the answer to some problem, some skill, some solution, some inspiration somewhere in the world, which only you are the answer to. And by not pursuing it, you are just missing out on an opportunity, not just for yourself, but to the world. So just like each one of us is given a gift box, the biggest problem is that we are not willing to unwrap it. We carry it deep within ourselves, with us, in our closets, and keep it right there and let it be there. And we are not letting it open. Today, let us take this opportunity to help you unbox, unwrap that passion that is there within you, and let us show you there is a reason that you have not opened it till now. I understand that. Let us show you ways in which you can start pursuing those passions and build a life that you have always dreamt of. What limits us? If you talk of it, what is it that limits us from pursuing our passion? These are mediocre life drivers. These are choices that people make or are best or forced to make these decisions as a result of their choice of leading mediocre lives. The first thing, fitting in. The reason why people choose mediocre lives is since their childhood, since all their conditioning is about the fact that you have to fit into the society. You have to fit into the roles that people expect you to be. So that's where when I am in a certain shape and I'm expected to fit in into a certain box, we choose mediocre lives. So when we are forced to do, as my personal example, when I began my career, I was in a conditional environment where I had to do a job or I had to join a business and things like that, wherein there was a set environment which I had to follow and pursue that in that fashion. And that's what limited me. To a large extent, in the initial years of my story with living life, the thing that limited me was I had to fit into a lot of boxes in the responsibilities that come along, and I had to pursue things which were others' requirement. And that's where we try to fit into others' shoes and forgive or start leading mediocre lives and forgive our own dreams. Second thing, log kya kahenge? One of the biggest challenge that we all face is of the opinion that we are surrounded, the people that we are surrounded with. And that's what we need to start looking at. We need to start looking at the other's opinion as their opinion. It will remain even if whatever you become, it will always remain. Now the challenge, sometimes people say it's my parents or it's my siblings, it's my friends whose opinion is something that hurts me or makes a difference. There will always be an inner voice which will tell you what is right for you, what is it that you're pursuing, and what is it that you'll be good at. And that's why you need to start working on that aspect, and the rest of the people, the log kya kahenge syndrome, will get resolved over time when you start pursuing this. When I began this journey 15 years back as a speaker going to schools and colleges, that's where a lot of people told me, what are you doing? You have a good job opportunity, why not focus on that? You have a good job opening which is there, why not apply for that? And that's where the entire journey was constrained. And still, I didn't have, maybe I just had a handful of people who understood what I was doing by going and delivering these seminars that I'm doing right now also. But that's where the journey began. I only had a handful of people and others with an opinion that why are you wasting your time? But I persisted because I believed that this is something that I'm passionate about and this is what I want to do in my life. And I pursued that while I was working for 5 years in a corporate environment. And even for the last 7 years, while being in my business, I've been pursuing that. I could have easily said that I'm not making money out of it. I don't need money out of it. What money will this give to me? But somewhere deep within me, I knew this is my passion. And that is what has helped me continue this drive. Next, fear of failure. How many of you all know Bill Gates' first company failed? Warren Buffett has made many, not one, many bad investments. You talk of Walt Disney, he was told that he lacked creativity. You talk of Steve Jobs, was fired from his very own company that he founded. So these are failures. But today, when you look back at them, we look up to their success, their stories that they have accomplished. And each one has went on to drive in their own passionate journeys, despite the failures. And that's what we need to understand. When you look back, these failures will be a part of your journey, and everyone has them. But what we often think of it is that if I pursue this, I'm not sure how it will be. I'm not sure whether I'll get success or not. I'm not sure what will be the cost of pursuing this passion. And that's what we often limit ourselves. And finally, the most important and the most common excuse or the situation that makes people lead mediocre lives is their comfort zones. Look at what is stopping you today. When I've talked to people who are in the age of 25, 30, 40, 45, 50. Every age group, one answer that I've got is that let me plan a little. Let me wait for 6 months and then I'll start pursuing my passion. Someone who's 25 is talking that I will retire by 40 and then pursue my passion. Will you think it will survive till then? The question that the biggest challenge that people face is their own comfort zones. Today, lockdown has offered so much to us that we have gone out of our comfort zone. As an example, for 15 years, we didn't try giving online sessions like they're doing right now, because it wasn't a comfort zone. Looking at a camera and not looking at faces and talking to you all wasn't comfortable to me. And so I never tried it out. But today, when the opportunity came up, the situation came up, I'm looking at it and I'm exploring it. So I'm going out of my comfort and trying to pursue, because I don't know, next 6 months, I'm not sure whether I can have any of you all into a normal physical room and have a session for you all. So I have to either let go of the 6 months of pursuing my passion or begin these sessions. We could be bad in some facets. We could be bad not having eye contact or looking at a camera screen like this. That's okay. We learn. That's how each one of us does. But we will gain our confidence. We will pursue this. And that's how we learn and keep engaging ourselves. We chose to get out of our comfort zones. That's what we need to learn. So with that, now let me share with you all a 4-step process in which each one of you all, right from finding what you're passionate about to actually excelling and making that or living that dream of yours, how is it that you can get into it? So irrespective whether you're 14, 15 or 8 years as Ananya, or whether you're 53 like Uma ma'am or 51 like JP Mishra sir, you can pursue whatever you're passionate about. This is the foolproof steps or the plan that we have, which we have seen work out for many people across age groups, across different professions, across people who are passionate about different things. Could be sports, could be art, could be literature, could be education, whatever field they're in, we have seen this work for them. And that's where we are presenting this to you. Again, this is a complete workshop, so I won't be able to engage in the very detailed elements of every step which is there, but I'll just giving a brief to you, and we can have an open discussion post that. So the basic structure looks something like this. First and foremost, a lot of people are not sure what they're passionate about. They're not sure what is it that is my real passion in life. Let me warn you, or let me share with you, the fact is, not many journeys have a clear-cut answer that this is my passion at the start. Every journey, unless you have a spark within at the age of 4 or 5 and know that what you want to do in life or how your life will look at while you're 50, I'm not sure many people have that. A lot of our journeys are exploratory and evolutionary. 15 years back, I didn't think of sitting here online and giving a session or talking to you all like this. But this is evolutionary. Maybe this will be the next leg of my dream, which I'm thinking of. Yeah, the vision is there of what we want to do, but the way in which we're doing is something which is evolutionary. So the first and foremost, if you're a student, people often say that, why do we study calculus? Why do we read geography when I'm not that interested in? Or why do we have history lessons? The reason why we have so many subjects or so many variations of subjects that we learn in our education is the fact that each of this explores a different facet of our mind. And somewhere, if mathematics as a subject wasn't taught to Einstein, or a science, chemical or chemistry reaction, or how chemistry or physics works, if it wasn't taught to some scientist, or some literature art person wasn't taught good English language, would he have known that he's good at it? Would he have known or explored what is possibility for him if he had not been exposed to it? The same thing is with elders, even people who are in the 25, 30 or even 50. The biggest thing that you need to look back at is, what is it that you're passionate about? If you have not found it, when was it that you last tried something new? You have to ask yourself, when is it that you did something for the first time last? If you don't have the answer, and if you're not exploring, how do you expect to find the answer to your passion? And if you have, now the question we need to ask will be, moving on to the next step. We need to keep exploring and experimenting with a lot of things to understand or find the opportunity. At the age of 65, someone found a chicken recipe, and he founded something called as Kentucky Fried Chicken, a $1 billion business today that was begun at the age of 65. Equally, someone who found it interesting to invest in real estate or do something by investing in earning more money or finding returns from some investments. He began at the age of 11. Warren Buffett. You look at the extremity, starting at 11 or starting at 65. The question is not when you're starting. The question is, are you starting or not? And to start that, you have to keep exploring and experimenting. That's what you will find the answer to what is it that you're passionate. So make a list of things, let it keep flowing. It could be 5 things, it could be 10 things. Let it keep flowing of the things that you find interest in, the things that you love doing. If I ask you to get up in the morning at 6 o'clock, what will be that one thing that will make you get up? For me, it could be cricket. For what is it for you? Make that list of 5 things, 10 things. Let's have an exhaustive list there of what is it that will make you wake up in the morning first, without having someone to push you, get up, it's time for office. What's that one thing that will help you wake up? Second, we have to get on to the engineering part of it. People talk of dreams. The problem is the ones who talk just keep talking. But the actual reason, the way execution starts is when you start actually enacting them, when you start engineering them, when you start having a process in which you start pursuing them. A lot of people have a good dream about things. They are passionate about things in the idea of how they will feel in it, not in the way they're doing it. And that's where you need to start asking your question. Of these list of 5 things, 10 things that you've had, ask yourself, 20 years down the lane, if someone were to talk about you, what would you like them to talk about? What would you expect them to talk about while they're talking about you 20 years down the lane? I want people to laugh at me. Could be a comedian's perspective. I want people to look up to me as a teacher. Could be a teacher's vision. I want people to look at my artwork and say, wow, that's something beautiful. That could be an artist's perspective. What is it that you vision yourself 20 years down the lane? Because that will give you an answer of the exhaustive list that you have had. That will give you an answer, what is it that you want to pursue? And that will narrow down the list. And then beginning with the next step, which is we call living the mini dream. A lot of people have a fancy idea that modeling is something that I want to do. But when you get onto the actual world of modeling, you'll realize that ramp walk of 5 seconds, which is there, which you see, has a hard work of 5 hours behind every single ramp walk that you do. Or that photo shoot or photography that you like. For someone who's been into photography like Pragya, she'll know that. For someone having a photography or someone who has a passion for photography, you'll realize that one click which you think is so simple and nice and beautiful, there are so many elements which go into the detail. And it takes to click one good picture, more than 200 pictures to be clicked for that one perfect click. So once you start engaging yourself in the reality, there is a complete different world of how you will be pursuing your passion. So the question you need to ask is, once you're engaging yourself, not on the theoretical side or not on those small things where you find joy. I love cricket. I am passionate about cricket. If I tell you that you have to go in and day out, do those routines of exercises and all those things, after 1 week, will you still love cricket? Is my question. That's what you need to start living the mini dream. That's when you'll find the answer, whether you are finding that motivation despite all the pains or not. And then if you feel still that you are passionate about it after living this mini dream, you need to get on to the next step, which is investing and enduring the pain. One major big difference between a lot of people thinking of passion as something which is lively, enjoying, having fun, the reality is something very different. When you talk of passion, it's not about having fun only. It's about enduring the pain. It's about how you're able to nurture yourself, keep growing, and how you are unwinding yourself to become a better person or better at that passion that you have. That's where you'll find an answer to how you're developing this passion. Just going and playing cricket. I love cricket. I am interested in cricket is something different from I'm passionate for cricket. Interested will be every Sunday I'll go and have fun and come and play, just play and come back. But if you're passionate about it, you wake up every morning, go for the training sessions, go for that technique, go for understanding the detail nitty-gritties of how you can develop and be a better cricketer every time. So all the things that you have written while Pragya asked you all, what is it that you're passionate about? Ask yourself, are you ready to invest yourself? Are you ready to enjoy the pain which is required to grow and pursue that passion? Because a lot of interest will stop right there. Interest will stop when you're tired, and when you're tired after a long working day, interest will tell you, let's go to sleep. While passion is something that will wake you up. Yesterday night when I was preparing for this program, I was damn tired after a whole entire working day, hard work and tired. But because I knew I had to give this today and I was passionate about it, I got up and worked from 12 o'clock in the midnight to 2 o'clock last night. And that's what talks about the passion. Had it been, okay, I have something and I'll deliver something and I'll just have fun and leave it there, I would not be able to engage with you all like this today. That's what the answer to finding your passion is, because when you're able to endure the pain, you're able to grow, you're able to learn, you're upping your skill every time you're getting into your passion. That's what passion will be. It's not an interest. And finally, the more frequently you keep doing this, day in and day out, when you keep investing in yourself, day in and day out, when you keep learning and growing. While I'm saying investing is because a lot of people have this idea of the current generation of instant or what do we say, instant gratification. We often expect, after working for 1 year on my passion, where are the profits? Where's the appreciation? Where's everyone's claps that I'm listening to? Careers, passions aren't a 1 year or a T20 matches. They are test cricket. They are marathon. They are not a 100-meter race wherein you engage yourself and wait for an applause at the end of the day or a week or a month. It takes years altogether for you to actually pursue and get that clap. And you don't do it for that clap. You do it for the clap within. You do it for yourself because you own what you have. The passion owns you and it makes you a better person every time you're pursuing it. That's what the answer is, because when you keep investing in yourself, when you keep growing, you'll find the answer to the self journey which is required. And that is what your answer will be. It's not about getting a Bharat Ratna or getting an award or getting some appreciation from someone. It's about the inner feeling that your life has a purpose and you are pursuing that. That is what will give you an answer to living the dream, which is the final step, wherein you engage yourself. Once you're into that process of continuous development, continuous improvement, you get onto that stage where you're living your dream. So with that, this is a journey that each one of us need to take on. And for us to succeed, we need to understand how success quadrant looks like. And I'll just share with you quickly how a success quadrant of how your time is being engaged, or how you need to plan your life or your day or your time which is there, how you need to engage yourself. There are 4 things that every success quadrant looks like. Here, the metrics are 2 things. Whether you're good at something or you're not that good at this point in time. And the second thing is you love it or you don't love it. So the biggest challenge that a lot of people in this world face today is that they are in places where we call paying bills. They are in the quadrant where they are good at but they don't love it. They're pursuing things which they don't love, but they're good at it. But that is something which is helping them pay their bills. But the idea is for us to move to the passion quadrant, which is something that we love and something that we are good at. A lot of things which will be in the potential quadrant will be something like, right now, at this time we were in the situation where we were limited in our physical workshops that we do. So that gave a potential opportunity for us to begin these Zoom sessions, begin these sessions online. We were still not experts at these sessions, or even we are not right now. But the fact is, this is a potential quadrant for us, wherein if we build our expertise over it, if we are good, we love this interaction. And that's the reason, if we learn this skill of managing these online sessions, it is something which will give a potential to us. And then the final quadrant which is there, which is something that you don't love and you're not good at. Not good at need not be that you're not liking it, but the fact that the daily course which are there. So washing your utensils, the laundry which is there, the daily course which we are going on in the day. Those are some things that we try to avoid. So here, the success quadrant looks in where we try to engage our time in the things that we are passionate about and working on things which have a potential about it. So we need to start moving from the bottom quadrant where we don't do things that we don't love, or be consciously aware of how much we are investing ourselves in the bottom quadrant, to the upper quadrant where we are doing things which are passionate and working on things where we have a potential about things. Now, the biggest question is, why should you pursue your passion? Having interacted with a lot of age-old people and having done a lot of research about people of how they have led their life and the things they have achieved from the public perspective, one thing that we have understood is pursuing a passion may not always fill your pockets. But the biggest difference that people who are passionate and pursuing their passion is that their hearts are filled with things which no purse can ever fill. That's the reason we do these things. That's the reason you pursue your passion, because it's an answer to your inner calling of what and how you can lead your life. That's where the quality of life, where people often talk of ikigai, which is where you find the moment to live every Monday morning. Every day morning to get out of your bed, you have an answer, you have a reason to get out of your bed every morning. And finally, there's an interesting thing which I've always talked to people, for the people who have not pursued a passion. If you look at this two charts which are there, I'm sorry. If you look at these two pictures, we have often come across puzzles. And puzzles like the left one is a puzzle which will look like a normal situation where people are solving the puzzle. Because this is how the world has been given talents. The world has been given blessings, the gifts that each one of us have been given. But today, if we don't have the things that we are passionate about, the things that we are blessed with, not being pursued, what will happen is something that looks like on the right side. The reality, the picture is what looks like that. It will be filled with something somewhere by someone else, by people who are not passionate, and the results will be what you can see on the right. The beauty of the world is that each one of us, when we do things that we are passionate about, the things that we pursue, what we are really being blessed with, the world will look like the left picture. We need to, it is not just for us, not just for our own responsibility, but the responsibility that we owe towards the world for the gift that we are being given of what we are doing about it is what the answer lies in why you should also pursue your passion. Because that's your responsibility, that's your giving back to the world. They often say, what you're being given as a talent is God's gift to you, and what you do of that talent is your return gift to the God. So that's one thing that I would say, you have to pursue your passion for yourself and for the world to be a better place, because 100 years down the lane, someone will be talking about you. Someone will be taking your name and thinking of what you did and how well you did. With that, I would give back to Pragya to take over for the session.
Thank you, Rahul. I was almost lost thinking about my passion now. Right. So I hope all of you got a good idea as to what all you should take care when you want to follow your passion. There's something which I wrote about when I was working on the area which needed my attention, and that was my passion. The words go like this: where is the passion lost? Where is the passion lost in the process of living the world's way? Where are the rhythms lost that made you sing and dance for hours? Where are the words lost that expressed how happy you were doing that? Where are the thoughts gone which made you smile when you thought about your passion? Where are the feelings lost because you thought about others? Where is the love lost that you had for yourself when you were doing things your way? Where is the confidence lost that made people look up to you and say, That's him. He does it his way. Somewhere deep within is there still the real you. Go, work on it today, and find himself for you. So this was something which came to my mind when I started working on my passion, which I had to lost because somewhere even I was a part of the group. I was also following what was expected out of me, what people wanted me to do, and not what I wanted to do. There are many reasons that we face because of which we don't follow our passions. As I told you, it can be financial, it can be your family issues, and so many other things. But still, don't you think there is always something nagging you when you sleep at night? You still feel that emptiness within. And the only reason for that emptiness is you've not been you. You've just been a person what others want you to be. I'll give you a very simple example. You might laugh at it. Okay, just look here. Okay, this is my 1-year-old. You might find it very interesting as to why I am showing her to you. So she almost got up when I was about to start this session, and this is something which I have started after almost years and years of giving a break and giving my child, my kids my time, and always kept thinking that no, I can just postpone this thing a little bit, and once they grow up, I'll follow my passion. But there was a day when it suddenly just changed. I left everything. I just thought, no, I need to do it now. If I don't do it now, soon I'll turn 40 and then 50 and then 60, and at the age of 80, I just don't want to say, oh, I also had passions, but you don't know how life works. Because those are the things which I have been listening from my mom, I have been listening from my grandparents, and this is something which really made my heart in pain. It actually gave pain to my heart that how could you do this, was my question to my mom. My mom was a very good player. She used to paint absolute, amazing pictures, and she just left it because she had to earn for me. I was surprised when I someday opened her book, which was kept somewhere hidden. It was full of dust and I could hardly see what was done there, but still it looked amazing. And I just went and asked, why did you stop painting? A very simple answer, which most of the parents give. You don't know how life works. If I would have been doing that, who would have been feeding you? And my question was simple. Mom, do you know how good you paint? You could have earned like millions now if you would have been painting and practicing every single day. And you just went for like some thousands of rupees which your profile gave you at that point of time. And that is something where I decided that I don't want to do that. And after 30 years, I'll tell my kids that you don't know how life works. I wanted to tell them this is how life works and you have to do it this way. Now, it's very interesting. I told this because when the session was about to start, my daughter woke up. She was crying. I didn't know what to do. I was in a mess. The only thing which was coming to my mind was, let's not do it. Rahul, you take care of whatever happens. And I have to take care of her. And then finally, what I did, you might all laugh at that situation, but I was feeding her and I was giving my whole session because I didn't want to leave this and I didn't want to choose between the two. So both of the two things were going together and I had no option for it. Because if I leave it today, I will not be sleeping at night, feeling that emptiness that I had to leave it because of her. So the reason I'm telling you this is simple. We all make our excuses. Excuse is something which is the killer for your passion. At least that's what I feel. If you really have a passion towards something, everything, that passion will be an excuse for everything. If you have to go out with your friend and your passion is to maybe draw, you will enjoy much more in drawing than just going out and spending your time on something which you're not passionate about. I'm not saying that all these social things are not important. They have their own value. But why not have boxes for each segment? Why do we always need to mix up? yesterday I was discussing with one of my known ones, and he's into a books club, and I was quite intrigued about what he said. I think Kirti would understand this quite well because she's into the psychology part and she can make us understand it quite well. So he said, "See, Pragya, you don't understand. Men and women are made different." I was like, "Oh yes, wow! I know. I mean, we are physically more beautiful than what men are." But he was like, "No, I was talking about your mental aspects." I was like, "We are even more mental than what men are. How is that difference?" So he said that how men's thought process work is quite simple. So they have a box for every single thing, and without coming out from one box, they can't get into another box. So if they are with kids, they will be with kids, and if they are in office, they'll be in office. And if you are, and there's also a box which is specially for doing nothing. So if they say that they're doing nothing, they might actually be doing nothing. They have that box. They can just sit idle without thinking about anything else. I was quite excited. Okay, how do women work then? And it was amazing. Okay. He said, "Have you ever seen a bundle of wool?" I was like, "Yeah, obviously I have." Women are like that. If you try to bring out one thing, either you mess up everything or the whole of it will open. So if you have asked one question to women, either be ready for a whole bundle of what they want to say, or just don't touch them, just leave them like that. And also, if you ask women, "What are you doing?" and if they say nothing, it means there's a lot behind it. Don't touch that segment at all. Just say, "Okay, do you want to say something?" and just leave it. Don't even try to listen to it. So this was something which I thought, okay, yes, it's actually true. But what I want to say, I would like to say here is, it is always better in this segment to be more like, how men think. Always have that one box with you, which is specially for your passion. How much ever mingled your other boxes are doesn't make a difference. But there should always be that one box which you keep separate from all these. And when you go into that box, you're all sorted, you're all happy, you're all content. And you know that I still want to get out of this box for some time. This is something which gives relaxation to me. This is something which is giving me happiness. And this is something which is giving me the courage, the ability to do all the mingling up which is going on there. Right? Now, as Rahul clearly said, that we need to work into the different segments as to whether we are into the passion segment or potential segment or others. I would really want all of you, if all of you can tell what has been the passion of your life. Have you followed it? Are you starting it now? Is it something which you have still not started? Or do you even know about it? Because there are many times we really don't know what our passion is, and that is the reason that we can't start. And another thing which Akanksha had asked me, gave a thought to my mind. Akanksha once asked me that what do we do that if we still like doing something, but we don't get appreciation for scoring good or something like that. Akanksha, today I have a very specific answer to your question. I was searching for this answer. Okay, I really wanted to answer her because that is something which a kid is asking me and I should be able to answer that. So Akanksha, do you know Sachin Tendulkar?
Yes.
One of the best Indian cricketers considered. Like, all of us know him, we respect him, and we really admire him for what he is. People do, right? But he is one person who never won a World Cup on his own. Am I right? All the men might answer this, but this is something which when I was searching, I tried to find this out.
You're right, ma'am.
Right? He has never earned the real place which he could have. Although people did appreciate him for what he was, but he was equally depreciated in his value even if he did not score once. Was he?
Yes.
Then when Sachin Tendulkar might not be appreciated when he's not winning, and he will be appreciated when he's scoring 100 or something, but still the value doesn't go down, right? He might have his bad days, he might have his good days. He doesn't even care whether people appreciate him or not. He just wants to do what he loves doing. Before going on the ground and scoring 100, he would not think, will all of the crowd shout when I score 100 or not? Because it doesn't matter to him. What matters to him is achieving what he wants to. Right?
Yes.
So keep that thing in mind whenever you're working on what you love. Just do it because you love it, not what people will appreciate it or not. Right? I hope today I have answered your question, because this was something going around in my mind from last 2 weeks when you answered it. So now we will open the session to any Q&A, or if anyone of you who would want to share your experience of how you worked on your passion. Before that, can I please see everybody's face, because I have not seen half of the people here. They have been with their videos off since the starting.
Can we have all the videos on, please?
Can we have all the videos on, please?
Okay, in the meantime, I'll just, some things that I loved during the last session. And I thought I should tell that so that you can ponder over these ideas. Akansha, have you tried working on, because you are so good at reciting that rap, Apna Time Aayega, think of writing your own rap. Probably you could do it. I could see something of that. Or Astha. Where's Astha? Is there? Has she just left? I think she was here. She was here until now. She could have worked on something like she's just begun with her GST YouTube channel, wherein she can work further on developing that. Or Kirti, the work that you do, the wonderful work that you do on psychology part of it, and the great initiatives that you have. I think that's something that you can pursue further, deeper. So these are things that I have come across just in the last 2 to 3 days. I believe you are the ones who live your entire life with yourself. Find what is it that you're passionate about. If someone external can just see the spark in you about things that you're doing, think of the wonders that you can do in your own life. That's what I would say. Can we have the videos? Shreya, I can't see your video.
MK, Menika, can we have your videos on, please? Shreya, Sai Krishna.
I
Zia?
on my video.
Okay,
yeah.
I can see you now.
Zia, I think don't have his video because he's on PC and he doesn't have a video. No problem. Can others please switch it on? Great. Now I'm seeing faces.
That's okay, Menaka. We are all in equally bad shape.
I have also just before the sessions put on my lipstick. I was horrible before that. It's okay.
That's okay. That's okay. If you are coming for the first time, you should have seen me in the 2 sessions prior to this. I was equally in a bad shape. It's okay. Welcome to Lockdown Stories.
Abhay Kulkarni, can you please open your video? Mosumi, Sai Krishna, just switch on your videos for a minute because I have a very small exercise for you all to do. Okay. I think they are not willing to show their faces. No problem.
Okay, Mosmi is here.
Yes. The others maybe are not willing to show their faces. No problem. So all the people who are already here, I have a small exercise. I would want all of you to please close your eyes. As we do one exercise in each of our sessions, this is for this one. All of you close your eyes. Salonia, are you there? Yeah, I think her video is stuck. No problem. Close your eyes and think of that one thing. Think of that one thing which you would want to see yourself doing after 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, which you would want to see yourself still doing and enjoying at the age of 40, 60, 80. Now, can you all imagine how beautiful you all are looking doing that one thing? Can you all feel the happiness that you are getting, that you did not listen to the whole world and you just pursued what you wanted to do? Can you imagine yourself? Just think about it. Just feel it. Now, you all can open your eyes and feel that content, that relaxation that all of you have got in this 1 minute when you were just imagining that happiness which you can get. I agree, we all have our limitations, our restrictions, our responsibilities, and much more. But don't we have even half an hour in a day which is for us, which is just yours, which is you? You're not a mother, you're not a sister, you're not an employee, you're just nobody then. You're just you. This 1 minute was that 1 minute when you were you. And feel the effect that you will get by this 1 minute when you're sleeping today. If you really do that, if you're sleeping happy, if you had that smile in your mind, feeling what you were doing, this is what you want to do in your life forever. So from today, work on it. Start with 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever time you get for yourself. Have that me time and do it. Once you do it for 15 minutes, next time you will be like, oh, mama, I'm coming, just 5 more minutes. These 5 more minutes will keep on extending till the time you're happy enough. And you're doing it for enough time that is making you go ahead. So I hope we all were able to give you.
I would just like to add to that.
Yeah.
Look at this 1 minute and the experience that you had, just about thinking what you like, thinking what you want your life to be. Now imagine if this 1 minute were to be extended to 1 hour, to 10 hours, to all the time that you are awake. Imagine how you'd be feeling. Now I want you to ask, like in the last session I asked you all, what are the choices that you're playing with? The question that we need to ask is, if this is something that is making me feel happy, or this is which is making me energetic and enthusiastic about life, ask yourself first. Like I have a bottle of water, if I already have it full, you have no space to put what you love in it. How will you go about it? So rather I would say go the other way around. Empty it. First put the thing that you wish, that you think that you love, that you're passionate about, first put that in, and then work around every other excuse that you have and let it fill the bottle, the rest how much so it wants. First bring in that space for yourself in your life of what you wish to do, what you're passionate about. Then see anything and everything of how you can fit into it. It could be your kids, it could be your responsibility, it could be your job, could be your family, could be anything that you are constrained of as of now. Let that come next. Let that fill in. I'm not saying you should not be filling in, but if you can't fill 10% of this by what you love, what control do you have of the quality of life that you will be leading? And that is not just for one day, it's forever. So begin by emptying this next time. Tomorrow morning, when you drink a glass of water, just remember, you need to empty this first. Put what you love in it first, and then fill in whatever, let anything else come in, it's okay. But one thing that has to be there in that glass or in that bottle is something that you love. Begin with that, then go the reverse. There's something called as reverse engineering, where we see how the things that we want our life to be, beginning from where, what we have, the things that we love, having in that glass of water.
There's a beautiful story which came into my mind as Rahul said. I think most of you must have heard it, but we don't remember good stories at times when we really need to apply them in our life. So the story was quite simple, that a professor gave an empty, bottle
Jar.
kind of a thing, a jar to the kids. And he had different things. There were stones, there were pebbles, the small stones which are there, and there was sand, and there were water, and there were so many things. And he said, fill the jar as much as you can. Use whatever you want. And as normal human being, we have our own priorities. We think that these are the most important priorities, and this is what we need to fill in our jar first. So what they did was quite simple. They filled the bigger stones which were there. They thought if we fill with this, it will be filled faster. So they filled it with the bigger stones. These bigger stones in our life is quite simple. Our family, our job, our kids, our parents, or our other responsibilities that we have. Then the professor asked again, is there anything more that you can put into it? It still seems to be empty. Again, kids thought about it and they filled that with small pebbles. So these small pebbles are nothing but the worries, the tensions, the anxieties, the fears, and so many things that we have. Again, it seemed to be empty to the teacher. He was like, are you missing on something? The kids were not sure because it already seemed full. Still, one kid came up with an idea. I can still put sand because there's some place left. Right? So he started filling the sand. So these were totally unimportant things which he thought was, I should have all these also. This can be your leisures, that this can be your excess money that you want, this can be your extra car that you want, or any other thing around which you feel that, okay, my necessities are done, my luxuries start here. So it was sand. But the professor still felt, don't you think you could have filled it with something which would have filled it all together? And nobody understood what it was. The water was still left, the most essential thing which was needed. Nobody could think that the water could have filled the jar all together and there would have been no need for all the useless things around to fill it. Why did we focus so much on the things which were not needed and trying to fill every bit of it with all this, rather than something which would have just given it a purpose of a jar? That's what all of us are doing. Rather than finding that one purpose of what will make the whole jar good, happy, and can make it fragrant if you add some petals of enjoyment to it, we are just trying to fill it with all the worries, all the tensions, all the big responsibilities around that. So today, as Rahul said, empty your jar and fill it only with the things which you feel are important. And keep this in mind. We feel that if we are not around, our kids can't handle things. But trust me, they will. It feels quite vague to tell, but someday if we are not around, will they not do it? Then why not divide our existence into their importance and your importance? Why is it needed that a mother has to be in their kids' duty 24/7? Why is it? I understand if the kid is too small and can't manage her own things, that time you might need it. But once they grow up, let them grow up and you grow up with them too. With this, we would come to end of this session. If you have any Q&As, you're free to put it either in chat or ask us with your audio on. Anyone of you have any questions or any stories to share as to how they started with attaining their passion or something like that?
Abhijit, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Actually, day before yesterday, I was watching the news channel, and there it was showing that they are trying to find out a vaccine for this corona vaccine and everything. So basically, I was just 2 days back recently, that is. So I was thinking before, when I was small, also I used to think that at least I should find out some vaccine for some breadfruit disease. So just I started my research, like how, what is the structure of this, and what DNA should I insert into that, and transcription, everything. So I was studying about that, and basically, and I came to a conclusion that I should find it anyhow, not for corona, but for any disease. So just 2 days I started, and now also I'm working on it.
That's great, Abhijit.
That's great, Abhijit. I think we could somewhere, all of you all, I think the remaining 15 people, just mark her face, just remember this face. Possibly 20 years down the lane, we could be talking of this story. And remember, we met Abhijit in our inspiring series session. She said about this, and today there she is. We would be talking about this sometime soon. Anyone else? Any questions? Any stories that you want to share? So I think with this session, I'm waiting if anyone has any questions. Okay, with this session, what we'd be doing is the coming Saturday, like we always have, the Speak Up impromptu session would be on the similar theme of what we have had today as an inspiration series. So looking forward to your stories, your impromptu, your speeches that you would want to deliver on the theme that we'll be sharing. We'll be sharing the poster very soon. So anyone who's not in the WhatsApp group would request you to get in touch with me or Pragya to join yourself in that WhatsApp group that we have, where we share all the information of what events are coming up next and what we are scheduling up. And like always, I always say, do share your feedback. It will help us improve. And if you're passionate about it, we will take everything chin up and look at what we can do further to improve ourselves. So with that, I would like to close the session for today. It was great having each time looking at least 8 to 10 faces over here who have been regular to these sessions, and we are really honored that you look forward to our sessions and are coming back every time. uh, it gives us motivation to further dig deeper and work more hard so that we can add value, we can inspire you all a little more. So with that, Pragya, you can close it.
Sure. So I'll post my number in the chat for the people who have joined for the first time. You can contact me on this number, and let me just share it. Otherwise, we'll miss it. Yeah. So I've just shared it. All the people who have joined for the first time can ping me on this number, and I'll add you to the group. And it will be great if you can forward the group WhatsApp link to any of your friends and family whom you would want to invite. In case you don't have the group link or you don't know how to share it from the group, I will post it on the group once again, or you can just PM me. And it was great having you all for this session. I really hope that we can bring that one spark into your life where you would think about following your passion. But just don't keep the spark for 2 days, 3 days, and by the time it's Saturday and next Tuesday or time for a new session, you're already done with it. It should not be like that, right? Great. So can I have all of your videos on just for 2 minutes so that we can have a quick picture as we send it in the group?
MK, Sai Krishna, Abhay Kulkarni sir. Just for a second.
Yeah. If you can just switch it on for 1 second, all those who have a video available, doesn't matter where you are, but just switch it on for 1 second. I think they're not here.
Yeah.
Main cadet. No problem. So give me at least a good smile so that I know you have found something of your interest and happiness today. Great. We'll post this in the group as well. And also this time we'll be posting this on our Facebook page. So all of you, I would request all of you to please go and tag yourself in the photo. It would be great because all other people around you would also come to know that you are being a part of these lovely sessions. It will be a great support to an initiative which we have started. We really don't know how far it is going to go, but when I see these regular people, I feel that at least this is a lot for whom I would want to go every week live with these kind of sessions. And thank you so much for today. One more thing, as I told last time, that in Saturday's session we will also have a 10 to 15 minute slot for I don't know if the people who are new, I'll just tell you what it was about. It's quite simple that we are going to have a 10 to 15 minute slot other than the impromptu speaking on the topic which we'll be providing you. This slot will be quite simple. You can come up with one of the problems which you are facing, which you feel you want to share or want a review on from other people. Even for kids, I know you don't want to go to your parents at times and ask them as to, because you know what they will answer. We already know our set answers. So this is one platform for everybody. If you have faced any kind of problem in your life, it can be related to relations or your work or schools or anything. You can come in those 10 to 15 minutes. You can post your questions privately to me. And if you want, I will just keep it anonymous. We will not declare the person's name as to who's asking for it. But somebody from the group who feels that they have an answer or a solution to that particular problem will provide you, so that you don't have that issue also that you if you have relatives over here, you cannot ask or something like that. You will be totally anonymous. We won't be declaring your names there. So please join us for that session. And if you feel that there is anybody who's facing any problem in their life, please do ask them to attend our Saturday session this time. I hope we'll be able to provide them some solution, because we have people from all the areas over here. We have Kirti, who's a psychologist. We have Mosmi, who's teaching, and we have Umaji, who's a teacher. So there are almost all fields over here. All of you will get answer to your problems. That's what is my trust. So thank you, and it was great having you all. Please keep joining us every time for our sessions. And if you are looking for any particular session which you want us to deliver, let us know. We'll try our best to work on it and deliver it to all of you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Pragya.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night.
Thank you
And
so much.
while you sleep tonight, remember your passion.
Thank you.
Good night.
Ma'am and Rahul sir.
Bye, Ananya.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. If anyone of you have anything which you want to ask, you can stay. Otherwise, you can quit from the, you can leave the link page.
Yeah, Kansha. Okay.
This
Yeah,
is
Shreya.
Shreya.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Are you
Thanks for
liking our
joining,
session?
Shalini.
Yeah, absolutely. You all are wonderful. Thank you for this wonderful sessions.
Thank you. And also, if you have any friends who are not very comfortable with English as a language and they understand Hindi more, you can also invite them, because if you need any translation anywhere, I'm pretty thorough with Hindi. I can translate whatever you want to have. And Rahul also knows a little bit part of Telugu. So if you need, if there are people who don't understand English that well, and because of that they are not willing to join, we can also tell them in tidbits. We can translate it in Telugu or Hindi, some parts if it's needed.
శ్రేయ స్వచ్ఛమైన తెలుగు కూడా మాట్లాడతాను, కానీ సెమినార్ ఇవ్వడం కాస్త కష్టం, కానీ మాట్లాడేస్తాను. సో
నాకు తెలుగు వచ్చు.
ఇంకా మంచిది. సో ఎవరికైనా తెలుగు రిక్వైర్మెంట్ ఉంటే మాట్లాడడానికి మాట్లాడొచ్చు. సెమినార్ ఇవ్వడం కష్టం, కానీ ఏదైనా క్వశ్చన్స్ ఉంటే అడగచ్చు, నేను జవాబు ఇవ్వచ్చు. సో తెలుగులో కూడా చేయొచ్చు, ఏం ప్రాబ్లం లేదు. ఓకే. యా రోహన్, you had some question, Rohan.
Sir, I wanted to ask, I think I know about my passion. I'm very interested in business, because whenever I think about business, I feel happiness. But I want to know more about me. What's my passion? I want to know more about me. So how I can know more about me? So that question I wanted to ask.
So Rohan, one thing is what you need to understand when it comes to business. Okay, it's a very vast area. What you would need to first do it, you can either go online, you can attend, you can have some YouTube links, or maybe just Google. First, you will need to find out, the first shortlisting would be of what area of business are you interested in. Is it the financial side? Is it that you like marketing your business? Is it something that you just want to set up something on your own, or what? Once you've understood that, you need to understand what area of business you want to go into. Whether you want to go into jewelry, clothing, mining, there's so many things which a business is, right? You will try to, you can easily understand this thing by maybe going and attending something online on YouTube. Listen to different kind of videos where people are speaking about how clothing business work, how jewelry business work, and things like those. Once you keep listening to all this, slowly you will start shortlisting your criteria. Okay, maybe after one or two things, when you read about clothing business, or maybe jewelry, or this software, IT, there's so many things. Once you can shortlist 4 to 5, okay, these are the things which I'm interested in. That's what I feel. Initially, you would not know, right, exactly what are you interested into. So first shortlist 4 to 5 things. Read about them, read how they work, what are the dynamics of that particular business. Once you start reading, you will be able to shortlist it to 1 or 2. You know how? Because you start feeling bored when you'll be reading about the other things. If you're not interested in IT, you read 1 or 2 things, or you listen to 1 or 2 videos, and you really start getting bored. But there'll be few readings or few videos or few informations, few dynamics which will really really interest you. Okay, I want to know more about it. I want to know how it works. What's next? That way you will be able to shortlist as to what is your key interest areas. What is that particular business that I want to do or I want to understand about? Once you have done that, you can further deep dive into it by understanding, read something about the marketing of that particular business as to how it works, read something about how the financial works, read about how the dynamics work, how you have to establish that business, and all those things. Once you're reading those, you will understand whether establishing a business intrigues me more or just how I can market it. Because people like me, okay, I can clearly tell you, I cannot start a business. I'm not a business person who would just start it from the root and then go about all the details and hiring people and all. I really can't do it. But when it comes to marketing, you ask me to sell Coca-Cola and Antarctic Ocean, I can do it. It's like this thing Antarctic. If you ask me to do it, there I can do it because I have a niche area I know which interests me, which is marketing. Right. So that's how you suddenly just can't find out what will be my passion or what will interest me more. You need to really deep dive into it. You can just spend say 15 to 20 minutes 2-3 times a week, maybe whenever you're free. Just try finding out. You must be having some idea in your mind as to these are the things I am thinking I want to do. It might change every day, but you will have some kind of a short listing. Right. You would suddenly not go into thermodynamics. You would suddenly not go into coal. You will only have idea about the areas which you are thinking now. Shortlist 5 areas and then deep dive into it. Right? That's how you can go about it.
Okay, ma'am. I think I need to find macaronis, right? Yes. Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.